Welcome! Today I played Junkyard Simulator, a video series which I was originally gonna call Today I Tried Junkyard Simulator, but I thought if you guys are gonna request to see more episodes, it's not gonna look too good in the comment section down below to say the other Karina Conf, so I think it's just better to call it Today I Played. We are going for epic settings and I cannot turn off the ambient music, so let's hope we don't get a copy strike.
I'm gonna copy strike this guy.
Let's go ahead and get started. This is gonna be a brand new game. The game starts with the guy moaning in a weird dong. And we're getting a phone call.
Oh, Johnny. You've been boozing again.
First thing is to get a mission to find the minimap. Oh, guess this is the minimap.
You still need a large map to plan your escapades better.
I went ahead and skipped a few missions because it was kind of boring and I don't want to give too much away if you're going to play this game. But the first thing that we're going to have to do is take this and put it in the garbage can. After that, we get our first exploration because we have to find a mini crusher. And do you hear the music in the background? That was lowered by minus 20 dB in Premiere. So the sounds and music are not at all balanced. For some reason, now that we have the game started, we can turn off the ambient music. And we can start messing around with our mission, which is to prepare the car for engine removal. And there's a removal station. Oh, okay. So it's just one click. I kind of thought I was going to be pushing stuff around, but you press a button and it moves the crane and puts the engine. You do have to pump it manually. So you have to lift it by pressing your left mouse button. Then you have the engine out. Clicking on the engine picks it up, and it has the super strength mod from Farming Simulator because I'm able to carry this very easily. And it says to put it here. It does not work the first time. So I try again. This time it's upside down, the engine, but hey, it worked. Gotta bring the car back into the parking lot. Then we finally do some manual labor, which is to use the loader with a magnet. And we have to pick up this vehicle. And if you've played Farming Simulator or Mud Runner, Spin Tires, any of those games that have a crane system, then you'll probably know what this feels like. I will say that it feels very linear. Do you see how this rectangle moves from side to side without any momentum, just very linear in a straight line, same speed, same everything? That's how the crane feels. And I should say I'm playing this with mouse and keyboard. I'm not using a controller, but let's just keep on going with the game. Gotta drop this vehicle in here. That works. The next step is to crush the vehicle, and you can apparently do it automatic, so you don't have to press the buttons. I'm pressing the buttons, but as you can see, you're just seeing the animation of the machine work, not how the vehicle is getting crushed. We then have to pick up the now crushed car and drop it down this big tower right next to it. And all that, we get a whole bunch of scrap and parts from it. This monstrosity here is a tablet, apparently. Then this becomes stock simulator because all the parts that you got from the vehicle you can now sell, and idea is to sell them when the stocks are high and not low. You do have a backpack on you, but I think it's only 4 spots, but you can also have a cart, so you can move things around. Found the vehicles, and the outside camera is inverted from what you think it is. The inside is okay. I'm doing a little bit of a hill stop here to see how this thing works, but you can't stop on the hill because you'll just go in reverse, and then it takes a bit to go back in first gear. But going up the hill doesn't seem to be any issue with this vehicle, and looks like you're driving it with one hand. I had to change the vehicle because I gotta tow this vehicle. Oh, okay, nobody saw that. Now that I have the right vehicle, I can select this wreck apparently, and all I have to do is press a button and it gets loaded into the truck automatically.
Johnny, let's keep looking.
The guy told us to keep looking around, and you can see on the minimap we have an arrow. I don't know why the minimap is so zoomed in, but driving is still kind of linear, and you can kind of tell from the hand. He's still driving it with one hand. I don't know why, but we have found our next wreck. I kind of wish there was a little bit more to loading vehicles on than just pressing a button and they're magically on top. Unloading the vehicles is also the same thing. You just press a button and that's how you move them around for engine removal. We already did this, so you know how we do it. This one too. And we have to do that for both vehicles. We have unlocked a new challenge. Are you ready? Well, let's get started. Pick up and deliver. It does show us what we gotta do and get those items into that truck. And then we have to drive through these obstacle kind of track layout. And it is quite a distance, but we have to deliver them all the way there. We are against time, and we can just put these in our backpack because we have spots available. Then we load them into the vehicle. We drive to our destination, and I am full on flooring it through here, but the engine is revving. Doesn't seem like I'm gaining any more speed. I will give it some credit for the sun rays. It does look kind of cool when you're going in and out of shadowy places. From the vehicle back into your backpack, from the backpack into the platform, and we have done it. Maximum stars, and we have unlocked some new things. It tells me that I need to renovate this engine. I don't know if I can put it into a vehicle. I could. Wait, can I put it in the backpack? Oh, wait, is that okay? Well, the engine is in my backpack, and now we're gonna go renovate it. Gonna drop it into this little workstation. Around us are all the tools that we can pick up for whatever job we're about to renovate here. And you do have to move around. You can't just keep brushing one place. You can see that if you press the hint button, something is glowing, and that's where you got to get all the spots until it's 100%. On the right hand side, it tells you the next tool. This part of the game I do kind of like, even though it's a little bit cheesy, I know, but at least you're doing the work. You're not just pressing one thing and it happens automatic. After we finish that, we grab the paint sprayer, and let's see what color is this gonna be. And I think that's just making it look chrome. I do wish the hints were a little clearer because I was stuck on 96% for like 2 minutes on a spot that I couldn't even tell where it was. However, our engine is finished, and it was 740 for the junk one, and after restoring it, it's 1478. Now it tells us that we have to do this bedside table. First, we're gonna start with the cloth, so we have to wipe it. Is this? Yep, there's the cloth. And we just gotta wipe this whole thing down. If you like repetitive tasks, then the renovation station is for you. Next up is the grinder. And this is a little different than the grinder that you have on your phone. So we're just gonna take off all that old paint. And finally, we're gonna give it some paint. And we do this with, it looks like a spray can. It's not the same paint tool that we used before. And as we get close to finishing it, we already have a buyer for it, and we went from $3 to $439. Now we start on the big job, is this vehicle here. It does give you an option of how many elements you want to be disassembling it. I'm just gonna leave it on default. Disassembling the vehicle is not that difficult. If it's green, you can take it off, but if it's yellow, you have to look for something orange because you gotta take out whatever is orange first. And I'm not sure if yellow and orange were the best color schemes for this, but hey, it's working. As you take away body parts, they will be put on this little stand, which then you'll have to take over to the renovation and do all those steps again. I went ahead and skipped all the 3 steps that you have to do and just skip to the end, so you get it nice and shiny, and you have to do this for all the body parts. Cleaning out the trunk, and you got to get all the junk out of here. You do have a flashlight, which helps a little bit. Inside, we are on the passenger side. Then we move over to the driver's side, the back seat as well, because you gotta clean everything there. You do have to take all the parts off before you can move to the next step. It does have an aspect of the car mechanics simulator. It's not as detailed, but you know, you kind of get a taste of it. Once you're done with it, you should only have the shell of the vehicle. And all these body parts on the stands, we're gonna have to take and renovate. As far as I can tell, there's 3 steps to it. There's a cleaning, sandblast or grinding, and a finishing of sorts. Even though you took the engine apart piece by piece, you're still renovating one big engine part. After I finished all the parts, and you can see I'm on the stand back there, it tells you to go to the computer, which apparently we found items in the vehicle worth 20,000. You press one button and the whole vehicle is then fully assembled. You don't put it back together. And also, as far as I can tell, you don't drive it, to transport it. It just loads it automatically into your junkyard showroom. And that's where you learn that there are some vehicles that are not just scrap metal and junk to crush them. You can restore and sell them. There is a big map with a whole bunch of other options to do and collect and missions. Everything that you've seen so far is about 2 hours worth of gameplay, so there's definitely a lot of stuff to keep you busy. There are some graphics errors like this one where you see this guy's hair just glowing through the sun rays. You can off-road if you want to, but areas are quite limited and some of them have invisible walls. Getting stuck is a thing. This is a map of the places that you can visit, and you can see that it's quite big. As you're doing missions, you will occasionally get these challenges. For example, this one, I have this ball that I gotta hit those cans, and the first one I just drop, but then I can kind of figure out that there's a line, and that's kind of like the throwing angle of it. And they have a whole bunch of random ones to keep you busy in between missions. Early game, I found that you just drive around and pick up wrecked vehicles on the side, which are most vehicles that have to be crushed or vehicles with an engine that you have to take out, then crush it. So you're gonna be spending a little bit of time with this menu here. Almost every place has people looking for parts. So as you scavenge the vehicles, you can do some extra missions and gain some more cash. And you keep visiting junkyard to junkyard. I'm sure there's more to this game that you can find. I mean, things are kind of obvious, like right here. Like you can tell there's a vehicle behind it. It's already giving you an icon, and it's the same one we just restored. I would say that it's a crappy game with many things to do in it. It's not as refined as Farming Sim or Mud Runner. I could see the appeal for it and why people would play to sort of like waste some time. Having played the game for 3 hours, I do not really care to go back to it because to me it kind of gets repetitive and it's not as refined. That's not to say that you might not enjoy this game, because if you liked what you've seen in this video, then you might like the game. But yeah, that is what I tried today. That's not what we named it. That's what I played today. If you enjoyed this video, you can check out some other ones or maybe consider subscribing. And remember that this video series is called Today I Played. Okay? Not today I tried, today I played. Because at some point, this is going to be monetized and hopefully we're not going to get completely wrecked with it, okay? I love you guys. Bye-bye.